Hello and welcome back to the channel and another episode in the MRS project. In this episode I'm going to be doing even more wiring, but this time more up front towards the dash area. Putting all the dash components into the car, head unit, gauges, various other things. And of course tying the radio into the amp and subwoofer from the previous episode. Anyway, let's get to it. Got our wires, various things. Purple's reverse camera. This pink is actually going to the red LED, green to the green LED, left and right power for the forward box. We're gonna go ahead and sleeve this, and then we'll also be running the boost controller cable and this serial cable. Every time, son of a, I knew I was forgetting a wire. I gotta put the gauge pot in. Thing I did here, I made these little retainer clips for the pins, since I didn't really have a good way of securing them before. This orange is going to meet up with the orange in the engine harness for the oil temp sensor. Pull some of this junk out of here so we got a little more room. These are just for power. This is for the boost gauge. Here's the AFR gauge, or actually whatever PLX has, which I guess technically it might be able to show boost too. This for the power. This is going to the illumination, which is currently a hookup in here. I'm using this so I don't scratch the top. I'm trying to put the big connectors in first. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing, but these little retainers. Done. Now time to sleeve the other side. And make sure I'm leaving some slack. Alright, now loom the wires. I'm using the same sleeving material that I used in the engine harness and the body harness that you saw in earlier videos. And of course, I'm also using Tessa tape. And here's the finished product. All the wires sleeved and tucked neatly underneath where the door sill is going to go, heading up to the front of the cabin. By the way, I'm using glow fuses on all these, so if one of them does blow, it should light up. Where to put it? That's the question. Right here might be nice. And here's all the wires for the radio that are nice and tucked away and will be underneath the door sill. Radio install time. These will be accessed in the glove box. And here's so I can hook up my Sega Dreamcast to the radio. That's right, Sega Dreamcast.
goes into the rear view camera. Alright, here's the reverse. Speed. I'm gonna feed those in from the other side. Put this in and switch out to these new knobs. These little gap filler rings are the Talk rings, which you can get at Talk Motorsports. Shameless plug, because that's what I do. Oh, speaking of plugs, I should have probably plugged this thing in. It's important. There's two sides to these. There's the back and the front. It's important you know which is which. Oh, look at that. Ah, so good. So satisfying. This was down. Alright. That looks a lot better than these guys. I mean, these worked and all, but that's a sexy time right there. Alright, radio's installed. This thing's kind of in place. I don't know if I'm going to install it. Cables are run. I'm gonna put the glove box back. This is for hooking up a Dreamcast to the TV, because that's what you do. There, that's what I do anyway. There's those in. That's up. In. Done. Had to do some adjusting over here, but pretty sure this will fit. Now I gotta put the switch in. This is for my alarm system to like set the modes for like beeps and all that stuff. Well, and obviously, ow. Since I'm using an Apexi PFC, I'm not gonna hook up the OBD2 port because nothing comes out of it anyway. I'm gonna push it up higher though.
And now it's time to clean up.
All right, this thing is starting to come back together and resemble sort of an actual car and not just a heap of parts kind of all scattered everywhere. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, comment, ring the bell, all the usual. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.